Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of the As Seen on TV podcast for Game of Thrones, Season 7, Episode 3, The Queen's Justice. I can't believe I almost forgot what we were doing. I'm your host, Mike, and joining me is Chrissy and John and Pat and Michelle.
Well, in pre-show we did talk about 1,000 different things, so no wonder you can remember where we were going with that.
Our tangents had tangents, and off topics with more tangents. So, we got it out of our system, we're good. Yeah, Jon and Davos. Bam, to Dragonstone. Like, no time passed.
There.
It's like,
I have to shout out to those cameramen with that tracking shot backwards through the, really windy stairs.
Through the really windy stairs. Also gotta credit Jon and Davos for not needing a change of pants.
The dragon.
But, to be fair...
I get used to it, but you don't.
You don't. I mean...
I almost wanted, one of them to be like, you know how most people don't believe you have these?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's like the Night King.
You know, that's a great analogy.
Yeah.
But, I mean... I don't know if Jon's that clever of a conversationalist.
He was such, a nervous schoolboy. He was kind of looking at the ground and, standing...
He doesn't do that shit.
No, he's not a politician.
He admitted flat out he hates conversations.
Mm-hmm.
He is not a fan of doing any of that. So he was like, yeah, you know what? I just need what I need.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
I mean, the long list of titles, and then Jon just looks at Davos like,
Introduce me, man.
Oh, this is Jon Snow. He's the king in the north.
And
that's it.
Oh, yeah.
That's it.
Now, granted, he did leave out till a little later, the whole he led the Night's Watch and yada yada yada.
Yeah, he went through
Good
the
stuff.
whole
Right
thing.
up until the part where it's also he got stabbed in the heart.
No, it's
In the heart.
he took a knife in the heart for his people. He gave up his own, and then Jon gives him the look like,
Yeah.
Shut up.
Do not tell them that I died. What is wrong with you?
Really.
it's like we're already.
Don't play all the
Say
cards
I'm
out
dead.
now. Don't play all the cards out now. I
Yeah.
kind of want people to not know what the hell I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think Jon's also feels weird about that he was dead.
Considering his whole thing is to organize a defense against an army of the dead,
Of the dead.
admitting
Oh,
that
that's
he
a good
himself
point.
is dead.
Right?
Was dead.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. That could actually be a really good way to get Daenerys at least interested.
Well, she was, because she even said to Tyrion, what did he mean by that? And he's like,
Yeah.
they get bored up north. Colorful language.
It's like, yeah, colorful language, it's a hard place.
But I mean, because Dany herself was burned in a fire, was supposed to have died, and 1,000 times. And has
It's a
walked out.
Targaryen thing. They're hard to kill.
Yeah, right?
Yes, they're hard to kill. So does that mean
Yeah.
Beric Dondarrion is a Targaryen? Considering,
No.
considering he keeps coming back. No, it's just saying.
That might be why the resurrection worked on Jon.
Magic in the blood.
Mm.
Well,
Speaking of magic,
I
Melisandre.
just can I just say before we go, Davos is such a sweetheart, and I love him,
Mm-hmm.
and especially now because he's like, you didn't call it. You called him a lord. He's a king,
Uh-huh.
ma'am. I think you got mixed up. And she's like, no, I didn't. He's like, oh, okay.
Oh god, that was awesome.
The whole back and forth between them was great.
Yeah.
And then they leave well, that got us nowhere.
I
Enjoy your lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have food sent to your rooms. It will not be poisoned,
Probably.
nor will it set you
Probably.
on fire.
Not poisoned yet.
And I
Yeah,
love
no, you're not a prisoner yet.
yeah.
Yet.
I'm not a prisoner, but I don't have access to my boat. I don't have access to my weapons. I
Yeah.
have nothing right now. You have everything.
Yeah.
What the
Pretty much
fuck?
depends.
hmm So, Varys and Melisandre have a little chat on the hilltop.
Oh, he just laid it into her. That was great.
I don't think you should ever, set foot in this land. But I have to one more time. I have to die in this strange land. As do you. And then it's just like, ooh, Varys. Ooh,
Yeah.
Varys
Well, that's
creeped.
that. Yeah, that's that weird prophecy that apparently every red priestess knows. Like everyone he's come across has been
Yeah.
like, you know,
Well, she's done that how many times? Like, one of the first times she meets John, she just looks at him, it's just like, he says something to her, like, like, there's this and that, and I know this, and she's like, you know nothing, Jon Snow, and it's just like, yeah, don't do
Yeah.
that, lady.
A red priest always seems to unnerve him somehow.
They seem to
Yep.
unnerve everybody. It's like,
well, no, but specifically and especially Varys,
right.
because we had that lady. Was it the end of last season before they left?
Mm-hmm.
She like laid out this whole thing about him, and he was just actually silent for once. Ever.
Yeah. And the whole thing, he lost his man bits to some kind of demonic sacrifice. So,
That's going to be interesting when we find that out.
hopefully,
What that was about.
more creepiness. One surprising thing, Dany, well, not surprising, but she apologized to Jon for Daddy's burning of his family.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, he was nuts. So, I'm not.
Whoops.
Whoops.
Don't judge me by my family. Well, great. Don't make me have to hold promises my dad did.
Not even his dad, his
Or his grandfather.
grandfather, well,
His
quote-unquote grandfather.
ancestor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, kind
Really, I guess would be his great uncle, but whatever.
of. Yeah. Because the Daenerys is.
Which would really be yeah.
Well, no, weren't they saying like all the way back since when what's his face came over the sea and
Mhm.
conquered Westeros? So that was ancestor. That wasn't even
Yeah.
like great grandfather. It was like how long ago was that? Aegon the Conqueror.
300 years.
All right, yeah, 300 years.
I'll
of
give or
starts.
take a few decades. 300 years-ish. And, I would be willing to bet that, King Torrhen Stark just bent the knee because, look, I don't really want my people burned, and as long as you
Yeah.
don't fuck us over, I'm cool.
Yeah,
Like, fine. Whatever. I'll protect the North. Have fun.
and
Go back south. Shoo.
yeah, and I mean Daenerys. None of them can know what's going on in the North right now. John coming back and saying, "Oh, I'm Warden, and you guys are just, under me now." That's not gonna fly anymore.
No.
That's not acceptable anymore. Like he can't just do that and
No,
come
that's
home
not going to go over well
and
at
not
all.
be king. Not be king.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk about their big, a big obstacle to all this. Queen Cersei Lannister.
Bitch.
Loving her.
Okay, actually, let's start with Euron Greyjoy. Pick your favorite rock star. I went with Keith Richards.
Mick Jagger.
I think Jagger's
sensing a
better
theme.
fit.
Yeah,
Lemmy without the hair.
Lemmy without the hair. Okay. Yeah, he just
Because he's got that motion like, ah!
he just
He's got-
Yeah.
rides on in like, look at
He's
me.
like homeless rock star pirate.
I like that.
All I wanted to do is like take a
Homeless
mic and
rock
just
star.
say you gotta shout it out.
Yeah, he's just dragging them through the streets, and they're loving it.
Throwing rotten food, I love it.
I forget who made the point that, they were doing this. Oh, yeah, Jaime, I think, made the point they were doing it to Cersei, like, not barely a couple of months ago.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, so, they'll turn on him real quick. But yeah, he delivers a lovely gift. Ilaria and Tyene Sand.
A gift she
I
very,
love
very
the
much
gift.
likes.
Oh, yeah, she very, very much liked. And then, I swear to God, Jamie's going to wind up killing him at some point.
Man,
Can you give me any advice?
And he?
I don't know.
We haven't seen Jamie actually fight good since he lost his hand. Like, he's
Right.
held his own, he's done his duty, but like we haven't seen an actual fight from Jamie yet.
Right, he
Well, he
went
doesn't
from
have to
He
fight
has
well.
it
He
in
just
him.
has to get one stab.
I know, but-
definitely has it in him.
he went from world-renowned swordsman to we don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well-
And I mean, we saw how he just like hulked out on the decks of those ships, just like wrecked face.
Yeah.
Well, the last time we saw Jamie fight was when they were in when he didn't they fight the Sand Sisters? Him and Braun,
Yeah, they
Yeah.
did.
So-
Yeah.
and he was not doing well at all.
No.
Oh,
So
No.
Brienne?
no, it's
No.
not Brienne. It was the
I can't,
gambler.
can't
it was
remember his name.
Tyrion.
Braun.
Sir
Tyrion's-
Bronn of the Blackwater. He was Tyrion's bestie for a while.
Thank you. Yes. I was like, I couldn't think
Mhm.
of the name.
He actually rode with Jamie to High Garden in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're gonna get to that.
Mm.
But can we just? I just want to say we all called this that Cersei wasn't gonna do anything to Ilaria.
No.
No.
Oh yeah, I think we all saw that coming a mile away. I mean, we discussed.
I
it
did
in
not
detail.
expect her to do the poison thing. I did not expect
That was
her
good.
That was good.
That was good. And
I mean,
You
well,
want first as you want done unto you. It's
yeah, it was a good plot point, not a good thing that she did.
right, and after she did it, I'm like, wow, they laid that foreshadowing. I should have fucking seen that coming, but I didn't.
Right?
Like I was too engrossed in the scene to even think properly.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we call
Oh,
that.
I knew it.
No, I
I
had an
so knew it. I was like, yep, fucker. Watch your kid die.
Mm-hmm.
And that made her like hotter than anything, and she just went straight and boned Jamie, and I'm just like, Jamie, my man, when you find out
When you
she
find out
murdered
why.
a girl and then went and boned you, like,
Anyway,
She's
Jamie
the
was
one
just
to
like,
make excuses.
Jamie was all like, no, not now. Like I'm not in the mood.
Yeah.
No.
She didn't murder her yet. She's
Well,
just slow. She's
I-
starting to die.
I know I'm jumping ahead, but now we also have the case of irony too.
Oh yeah.
So Cersei goes and poisons one,
Hilarious.
and we find out that in turn, when they also poison House Tyrell, oh wait, yeah, I'm the one that poisoned your son, bitch.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
It's just a lot of poisoning today.
Poison.
Yeah,
Does
there was
anyone just get stabbed anymore?
Poison's the easiest thing. Well,
I
I'm
guess.
really missing a good old fashioned stabbing.
Yeah.
Or like a crazed lynch mob? I don't know.
or a head crushing. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
It's
head.
been a while.
Well, she even said, I could have the mountain crush her head, but she's, it's such a pretty face. I don't want to see it cracked open like a duck egg. Like, that's graphic. Thank
She's
you.
like, no, I just want to see it rot away from the bone. But
Why
that's
are
okay.
we using pokey things? We're not using stabby things anymore.
No, we're past that. Well, I mean, I guess we'll get there when we start having battles again. Like
Yeah,
proper battles.
soon. But, I mean, she doesn't even care. Who knows that her and Jamie are doing the nasty.
I know.
She knows they all know now, and she's like, never. Fuck it.
She said it flat out. She don't give a shit.
And she's the queen now. Who gives a fuck? Who's gonna
Yeah.
Right.
dethrone her?
Right.
A lady with 3 dragons, but like she's getting cocky, and I think that's not gonna be great for her.
No.
Oh,
Not gonna
Cersei?
go
or-
well.
Yeah.
Cersei or Daenerys?
She's been
Danny.
cocky.
No, Cersei is getting too cocky.
Yeah, no, Cersei.
John's got a point, though. She
Yeah, she
has
is.
been. But it is
But this
amping
is
up.
like brazen now. We're crossing a line now.
Now it's just
I mean,
blatant.
who's
Now
gonna,
she's throwing open doors in her robe. I'm fucking my brother.
like who's gonna cross her right now? Like with who she has, the mountain. And she has, like,
Yeah.
Well, no one's
I'm
there
like,
yet,
yeah,
but like
Somebody's
somebody's.
right. Nobody in the court is gonna do anything.
no.
All right, so Bran returns home finally. Sansa's all being in charge, like planning shit. Like, all right, so basically, what you're telling me is, if all the armies come back to defend Winterfell, we're gonna starve to death.
Yeah, because they can't bring the grain with them if they have to flee.
Yeah, it's like, we got enough food now for our current population for a
Yeah.
year. That's not going to help.
Yeah.
So, she's doing all that kind of stuff. It's like, the gate. I'm going to interrupt your little, little fingers creeping session. Yeah. I mean, he kind of gives her his life philosophy. Live with every possibility in your head and you'll never be surprised. Like, play out everything.
He's a wise man.
It's probably why he's not dead yet.
He's Captain Creeper. He's not wise.
Captain Creep.
He's a wise man.
But and here's the thing: we've gotten past like the Littlefinger helping Sansa.
Mhm.
Like now, all the advice he's giving her is ammo she's going to use against him.
Oh, yeah.
We're past him teaching her anything new.
She's not stupid anymore.
Yeah.
Right.
So, I'm waiting. Like it's.
I'm just waiting for Brienne to be like, you want me to kill him? Yep.
Yeah, please.
All right, cool.
If you want, I
would
should
call
break
he's
his
dead.
legs.
Or she may do it herself.
I mean, when Jon
Oh.
and Tyrion are talking, a great point there. Like, she's a lot smarter than she lets on. Oh, she's starting to let on.
Yeah.
Good for her.
Good for her.
It's either that or it's like, hey, Arya's back. Great. Well, you're dead, Littlefinger, and we're just gonna fake that you're alive still.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like.
I love the... Okay. Stark family
I wish-
reunion. It's a picture of Sansa crying her eyes out. And it's like, Jon is technically a zombie. Bran is some creepy psychic thing. And Arya can swap faces at will. And then it's Sansa just crying like, what the fuck happened? Like, why am I not special?
Oh, God damn it. I got
Oh, of
nothing.
course. She's
Got a
gonna
backbone.
bitch. I lost my wolf. I can't do anything. I'm not cool.
Oh, yeah, that's
She
it.
has red hair.
Yeah, there you go.
What do you mean she's gonna bitch?
Yeah, who knows?
We're past that.
But yeah, she's all huggy Bran. Like, I'm just gonna, the way I wrote this down. Sansa gives him a hug, he gives her the creeps.
Yeah, and I mean
He's
that's
seen so much.
Well, yeah.
Emotions are meaningless to him.
Yeah.
yeah, and that's I think catches Sansa off guard because that's not something she ever wants any of her siblings to know about.
Right, and as he put it, I've seen everything that's happened to everybody.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever. So, it was snowing just like this. You look so pretty in your white wedding dress. Like, I'm sorry that had to happen to you, here at home. It's like,
Yeah.
alright, how the hell do you know that?
I'm leaving now.
It's like, I gotta go back inside.
I know
Glad to
everything.
have you back. Bye.
Bye.
I know everything.
And then Arya's gonna show up, she'll be like, oh, Arya, I missed you, hug! And then, at some point the face is gonna swap.
Yeah.
Or Arya's gonna show up in disguise, and... yeah.
Yeah, we don't really know how that's gonna play out.
All we know is she's headed home.
Maybe her and Bran will get along better.
Probably.
They
Bran's
both,
will be like, I've seen some shit, and she'd be like, yep.
I've
they've
seen
both
some
been
shit
through
too.
shit, yeah.
Awesome.
Seen some shit.
I've seen some things, man. I've seen some
Because
stuff.
I
We're
get the
both
feeling,
devoid of certain emotions. So.
I feel like Bran probably could not have seen into the Faceless One's hovel, whatever the hell you want to call that place.
Or he just...
Because that just seems like a place out of time. So
It also...
maybe he doesn't know any of that stuff.
Maybe.
maybe.
He must know, like, something, if he can see everything else.
Also, the Children of the Forest, from what I
Different
remember,
god.
were a very... Yeah, they were a very Westerosi thing. So it's possible his sight doesn't extend beyond the continent.
Well,
For all we know.
But she's done some face stuff in Westeros.
Right now, yeah, so he could have definitely
was
seen
looking.
that.
But he's probably never seen her training or anything like that. Because, they serve another god.
And
That's like
Bronn was
completely,
That's true.
that's... I feel like that's another jurisdiction,
Mhm.
basically, of godhood.
Yeah.
So the Three-Eyed Raven's one thing, the Many-Faces God is another thing, and
That's really interesting. wondering
Red Fire
where.
Jesus is like a whole other, I'm sure there's a pantheon of this sort of thing, but I
Well,
question
Well,
how
that's
much
the
overlap
7,
there is.
right?
It brings up an interesting, thought though.
Ha.
How far?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I mean, the tidbits you get of the 7, and the show is as vague as the books on this one. The 7 seem like they were the made up to control the religion, control the masses kind of religion.
Yeah.
So, I mean, who knows if the old gods even existed, but there's some kind of power in those fucking trees, because Bran could goddamn see through them.
And I mean, if these two religions are, based on religions in our reality, the 7 might have drawn inspiration and stories directly from the old gods. So that
That too.
Yeah.
And,
could be crossovers, whether they're real or not.
hmm
Like possible. Yeah.
yeah. So,
A religion
kid could see
comes
shit through trees, and people could see, visions in fire.
Yeah.
There's definitely something more to that.
Mhm.
But, one thing I almost forgot, because, Michelle, you said the word bravos.
What?
Yeah.
The Iron Bank came to collect on their debt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's like,
They
Oh,
did.
Don't worry, I'll have it paid off in a fortnight.
Just give me, just give me a little bit of time. 2
Now-
weeks.
at that point, I was thinking, yeah, there's no way you're going to make up that much money, because he even put it like, the Tyrells, the next wealthiest family, they're your enemy now. Well,
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah,
if you
kinda
topple
got-
Highgarden,
you kind of got their money now.
yeah, their money and what they had gold mines. Was that the thing?
Yep.
They had gold. Yeah.
Yeah,
That was the thing that was wrong with the Lannisters is that their gold mines ran out.
Mm.
Mhm.
yeah. They had, that's why the Lannisters were so rich. They had, dozens of gold mines. They found them all.
They're like mine, all mine.
Mine, 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 mine.
Precious.
On to Sam and his good job.
I know. Yeah.
Good job.
The goodest of boys.
Good for you.
I love the Archmaester just poking him with a stick. The infection doesn't seem to be active anymore.
I know, but I just don't want to touch you.
Well, just in case.
You gotta use the pokey stick.
It's like,
I just woke up and I felt real better.
I felt better. I figured it was the rest and the climate, and I just love him. The climate.
The climate.
You're free. You're free to go. Sam, can I see you in my study at this evening?
I think something important was that Sam shook his hand, and I think that's the first time that Jorah's touched another person in a very long
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean,
It made me nervous, but
that's like a fist bump moment. It's like, hey, your dad saved my ass, so I only had to save yours.
Mhm.
It was only fair.
It was only fair. So that was good. And I mean, Sam basically gets the equivalent of detention.
he's like, "Oh, you were expecting your reward. Your reward is not getting thrown out."
Well, what do you expect?
Write all this down, and don't forget.
Professor
the,
from Hogwarts told
Right.
told him not to do it.
Hold on, though. He's not, picking up poop. That to me is a.
It's an upgrade.
You know what that is? Riding until your hands fall off versus, yeah, you know what, I would...
Cleaning up shit. I
would write until my
Gladly.
head fell off.
And you
guess
know what?
I was going to say, just him writing that, he's going to learn all
A
of it.
lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And,
Exactly.
hey, maybe the Archmaester was nice enough to make that all stuff Sam needed to know.
Touche.
So I feel like it would just need to
Yeah.
happen to be stuff he needs to know.
It's like, this is just old shit that's falling apart, copy it onto new shit. And watch out for the paper mites. They like flesh, also.
I know. It was like, oh, great. So it's not a bad job, and now it's just horrible.
It's just horrible.
Yeah, and now the work he's doing, he's still amassing knowledge. Cleaning up poop, he wasn't gaining any knowledge.
Mhm. But
You're just seeing what people ate.
Just a work
I just
ethic,
love the way he
He
put
was
that,
getting
though.
knowledge of what the gruel looked like. The same thing in and out.
I loved the way he put that, though. I've known how many maesters with, multiple healing links hanging off their chains who have failed at this. How'd you do it? He goes, I read the instructions.
Right.
It's like I read the book and
Right.
followed
What
the
the book said.
instructions. Like I followed the manual, and I did the thing.
Yeah,
Like
that
oh,
was so funny. But
All
there's
right.
something there's something that not everyone has. That's a skill not everyone has. Who can read and do it
And read
perfectly the
well.
first time.
And read well and
And
comprehend.
that is definitely Sam's. Yeah, retain that information. That is definitely Sam's superpower.
He is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I love him.
So our last bit with Daenerys here, she, on Tyrion's advice, agrees to let Jon mine the dragon glass, because, as he put it, it's everywhere, and you didn't know about it. What is it to you? Like, to you it's worthless.
And she even offered her own men to help.
It's like, yeah, you
Yes.
need anybody to help you, all that stuff. It's like, so you believe me? You better run along. You got a lot of work to do.
She's like, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying.
No, just kissing ass so that in turn maybe you'll bend the knee.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be a middle ground. There's got to be a make the North a free kingdom, but Dany still gets everything she
But,
wants.
it's a little presumptuous for her to be like, you will bend the knee to me. It's like, who are you again?
Uh-huh.
Who the fuck do you think you are? Just getting here a day ago.
And she's-
a little arrogant.
Yeah, and we're looking at a that's an old structure.
Mhm.
The Seven Kingdoms. That's an old structure. And especially with everything happening at the Wall in the North,
Right.
the wildlings are coming into this political shitstorm, and the North needs to be free.
I mean, Davos's little speech there, those hard bastards chose him, to lead them.
You earn it. Like, you earn it.
It's like,
There's
yeah,
a whole-
he went through all that. Like, he earned it. Like, he
Get
did
it.
all his shit.
Right.
You haven't earned anything,
And,
Westeros.
there's like,
Not yet.
begging your pardon, but who the... Yeah, like, you guys said, and basically what Davos said and Jon said. Beg your pardon, your grace, but who the fuck are you?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, congratulations. You have 3 dragons and
They're
Some-
terrifying.
not white people with you.
And
Those are rare, but
she has her own claim to the throne, just like Cersei does.
yeah,
So-
congratulations. You
Yeah.
and like 17 other people want to be queen.
Yeah.
Get
Right.
fucking line.
Earn it.
I also
And I-
super appreciate that this is a war between 2 queens. Like that
Hmm.
tickles my fancy.
One
You
queen
know,
is not
women
queen, so
empowerment. Don't you just love it?
Hey,
Yeah.
well, one queen is winning right now.
yeah,
So,
badly.
the Greyjoy fleet was sunk. Theon was rescued by a Greyjoy ship,
Oof.
and they
That went
probably are regretting pulling him back out of the water.
Well, that seemed to be one of his ships, like
Mhm.
not one of Euron's ships.
It's
so.
like, is your sister dead? No, Euron has her. Couldn't save her, I tried. You wouldn't be here if you tried. It's like,
yeah, that was
Yeah,
savage, but true.
Absolutely true.
He's
Um,
gotta close some balls again.
Well,
I know he
they
doesn't
already
have
chopped
them.
them off.
Metaphorical balls.
Yeah, well, that's...
he has to regrow them.
Regrow them, yes.
Theon for me is an interesting case because I don't quite feel sympathy towards him.
No.
I don't feel bad for him, but it's like, okay, this
Like,
makes
I
sense
don't
why
think-
you're here, why you're doing these things. It's like, but I don't hate him anymore.
Like, I know he's been through a lot of shit, but it's
Yeah.
like...
I
really-
don't hate him, but at the same point, he's the last person I'd pick on a dodgeball team.
Oh, yeah, and Yara wanted to make him her, like, protector. I'm like, girl.
The girl, she knew.
Oh.
She was just, yeah.
No, she was very,
Wait.
very shocked when Theon did not try to save her.
Right, but, deep down, she kind of knew. Like, that's why she was, like, being nice, and, when Ilaria was teasing him, she was just like, leave him alone. Like,
Like,
Yeah.
she wanted him to change, but
hmm
she kind of knew he wouldn't.
Yeah. So, I like Tyrion's little confidence. Like, we're going to attack Casterly Rock. And I know we're going to win because I built an entrance in the sewers.
That was fantastic.
I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like, they go through, they take the castle. I'm like, hey, that's pretty awesome. And then Grey Worm just takes the helmet off, like, there were supposed to be a lot of them here. What the hell happened? And then looks out to sea, and hey, guess what? Everybody's favorite creepy uncle showed up.
Surprise!
So
And their ships are pretty much all destroyed.
your Unsullied are stranded.
Yeah.
The
To hold the
Greyjoys,
keep with no provisions.
the Greyjoys are, and the Dornish are pretty much out of the picture for the time being.
Yeah. Well, the good Greyjoys.
Yeah, the good Greyjoys. So Dany's allies she sailed with are dropping like flies.
Yep.
And
Make John look a whole lot better.
and then Highgarden falls.
Yeah.
Not much effort, it seemed.
No.
Well,
As
they
Lady
weren't the
Olenna.
best fighters anyway.
Yeah, that's what Lady Olenna even said.
Gilded lilies.
Gilded lilies.
Mhm.
That whole, oh my god.
You're fighting a bunch of posers.
Hmm. Like, that whole thing she says to him, like, she's gonna be the end of you. Like, she's fucking evil.
Yeah.
She just
And
made
then-
him
She's
do-
like she said she's like a disease.
And yeah, like, you poor thing, like, it's too late. She's already has you. Like,
You're beat.
She goes, you really love her. And he's like, yeah.
I feel like at this point, the only way the two of them can go is a Romeo and Juliet style die together
mhm.
kind of thing.
He's gonna kill her.
And kill himself.
Well,
Probably.
I kill her too, John. I do.
I love that, though. Just like, so how's it gonna happen? Sword? Beheading? Well, she wanted you dragged, through the streets and beheaded in front of the Red Keep. And then she wanted you hung from the, flayed alive and hung from the walls. I talked her out of all of that, Just, boop, here you go.
I would have been like, nah.
But I just, like, bad props to Olenna for living to the ripe old age of, like, 100.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
irony too
surviving.
that she dies by the poison,
Mm-hmm.
as well as her.
Yeah.
When,
Lives to the ripe old age, and then she's like, will it be painful? No, I made sure of that. Awesome.
Yeah,
like,
she's
be
all right,
done with it.
awesome, because I
family's
didn't know. I didn't know the effects of my poison on your son, but
It's like, I never seen it work before. I didn't want to go
Yeah.
out like him, gasping for air, turning purple, blood spurting out of places.
sputum coming out of my mouth. Mm.
But, tell her I did it. I wanted to know it was me.
One last mic drop.
Mhm.
If Jamie has any sense, he will not tell
Westeros
her.
mic drop. Ultimate Westeros mic drop.
What's she gonna do?
Now, is that...
Absolutely nothing, but I feel
Stomp
like
her
it'll
feet.
make her more crazy for some reason.
All I know is Jamie walked out of that room wishing he flayed her
Oh,
at
yeah.
that point.
Probably. You could see it in his. You could definitely
like,
see it in his eyes.
I
He's-
killed your son, dick.
She didn't call him a dick.
No, but, that was the sentiment.
This was in
There.
today's
It was
terms.
there.
She really, it didn't really feel like she bore any ill will to Jamie. Like, it was all
No.
to Cersei, and Jamie's the messenger.
Hmm.
Well,
He
know,
just got caught up in the.
Jamie
Right.
also.
So to speak.
So is that... Did they reveal it before that Olenna did that in the show?
She said it to Marjorie.
Littlefinger's the one
Oh,
that
yeah.
She's like, "Did you really think I'd let you marry a monster like that?"
That was
But
it.
it was a joint effort, because it was
Yeah.
Olenna, Littlefinger, and somebody else.
Oh, it was Sansa's hairnet.
Oh, was that what the poison? Was that
Yeah,
what it
the
was?
The
poison-
necklace, the gem out of the necklace.
Oh, it wasn't
Yeah.
that. Yeah, it was...
Yeah.
Yeah.
which
She-
was the gift from House Tyrell.
Uh-huh.
Right.
So Sansa delivered it to the wedding unwittingly.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
The old long con.
Drop it in. Wasn't it
One of the handmaidens
Yeah.
or something like that.
So that was fun.
Alice? I hate to see her go, but
Yeah. We lost another good one.
she was really awesome.
So, yeah. It's gonna be fun.
Me too.
Dany's gonna be pissed.
Dany has like nobody. Well, no, I mean she still does, but I mean
Well, she keeps insisting on riding the dragon to,
Take out the fleet.
he got the fleet, which I mean
Yeah.
might not be a bad idea.
I mean,
fleet,
first, yeah, she doesn't know about the ballistas yet.
but the fleet doesn't. Well, as far as we know, the fleet doesn't have the ballistas.
That fleet has, catapults and trebuchets mounted on those ships. A ballista will fit if they wanted to.
No, I know, but he said
Yeah.
that was the prototype. We don't know if they were ready.
Yeah, we don't know
Oh,
how.
who am I kidding? Time is weird in the show.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
They've
So-
mass-produced 10.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they've made 100.
But, Tyrion or Varys or someone had a great point. One arrow. If you're riding you're too important. If you're riding Drogon, one stray arrow, and you're dead.
Yep.
Right.
And that was the same, that's the same advice that Book Barristan gave to her about the dragons. An arrow in the eye socket will still kill a dragon.
Mhm.
Ooh,
like,
it's vulnerable. Very
Uh-huh.
vulnerable.
And I mean,
Makes you
their
vulnerable.
scales don't make them invulnerable.
Mhm.
Drogon got stabbed.
yes. They make them very, very resistant
Yeah,
to
it wasn't-
stabbing.
It wasn't a bad wound, but he got stabbed with a regular spear.
Hmm.
He still has a scar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, a decent spear thrust will penetrate dragon scale, not deep, and the dragon will kill you for it, but,
It's gonna hurt.
a
It's
couple
gotta be
hundred,
at the right angle.
a couple
Do
hundred
that
spears.
30 or 40 times.
Yeah, do that to the same spot 30 or 40 times, and, pelt the damn thing with 10,000 arrows, one of them is going to kill it. Now it's just the game of numbers. Game of math. I wish I had a synopsis for next week's episode, but every source I found is just the synopsis for episode 1.
I think what I watched the.
I watched the promo.
Yeah, me too. Finally.
She's gonna start getting sick, and we know Daenerys is gonna start getting sick of losing people,
Hmm.
and he's strictly gonna be like, "All right, well, I guess I gotta go to Plan B, which is go and take over."
Flipping tables.
Right? She's like, I'm done with this.
I
She's just
think-
gonna flip that giant table of Westeros, just barehanded flip it.
I think she's gonna have to reach out to John, like Pat was saying. Like
Yeah.
she's gonna have to, she's got no allies left.
Really.
She's gonna have to give up the North to
Yeah.
make an ally.
To make an ally. Alright, fine. But this is where the next clash is going to come, because she's going to insist, I need you now.
Yeah.
This is important. We need to get rid of Cersei and take over, and then I'll help you defend the North. And he's going to
And
be
I'm
all
really-
like, no.
I know, this is mine.
How do you like the cold?
I'm really scared that the compromise is going to be Jon goes to help Dany, and then Tormund's alone, and the
Mhm.
wildlings are alone to defend the
The wall,
gate,
yeah.
the wall where they're coming. So I don't want Tormund to die. He's got to hit on Brienne a whole lot more.
Oh
I
my
think-
god.
Honestly,
I know.
I think the negotiation's gonna be okay. Well, we'll give you the dragon glass. We'll send you, and we'll send some troops to help you. But John, you and your better fighters got to come and help me out.
Yeah.
And it's
My
gonna
thought,
split the division.
You help me, I help you.
my thought was this:
Hmm.
ditch the South. Go. Get the fuck north. She can't touch you up there.
Good point.
It's
I think the
like
problem
trying to
with,
attack Russia in the winter. You
yeah,
don't do it.
exactly. But again,
That's
the
true.
problem with that is the immediacy of the fact that Grey Worm is stuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but the other problem is, the reason she can't touch them up there is because the Lannisters are a southern army.
they're not
If
equipped.
she manages to get the Unsullied back, they're like a subtropical,
Oh.
Yeah, they don't like the cold.
desert
No.
port city. Think, I don't know, places in Egypt or Morocco or
They
something.
have leather, short-sleeved armor
Yeah.
like that.
And then
They would
the
not-
Dothraki are Native Americans
Sure.
from Great
Nomadic
Grass
planet.
Plains. They're, winter is not a concept to them.
They don't have armor at all.
They're like nomadic desert people.
Yeah, but at the same point,
Fighting,
they'd be able to just be like, oh, hey, well, here you go. Here's new armor. Figure it out.
Mhm.
And they might be like, okay, well, we'll
Yeah.
get by.
But that's the problem. Will they have armor for 2 entire armies?
Yeah.
No.
we see they're making armor for their armies
Mhm.
Right.
in the
But-
north.
At-
We
at
don't
the
think there's
s-
enough.
the only thing I can think of is like tactically speaking. I mean, Castle Rock is a loss.
Mhm.
They can't get them in or out. They have no fleet to do it. So that's the Unsullied are basically stuck there. I mean, I guess their first move would have to be to get them, but how the hell are they going to do that?
They're done.
Dragons.
Again, bad idea.
I mean,
They will die,
Jamie made the
and then
great
Danny
point.
will die.
They left
I
the
don't know.
larders empty. There's no food.
Yeah.
They
Right.
stripped
Well,
the place and left.
I'm not saying the dragons fly directly over the ships. I'm saying maybe they come around and pick them up.
I just think they're dead. There's like only
Oh,
like
well,
I was
that's-
saying the other day. I'm like, there's 100 of the Unsullied. There's like thousands of these men coming in. I'm like,
Yeah.
Well, the thing too is that you had the wildlings who
Unfortunately.
didn't know how to do shit either. You know, they didn't have great weapons and everything else, and they could survive. You know,
Oh, but that's
send them
because-
up north,
but they survived.
take
because
care
they
of the
lived.
White Walkers, and then in turn
Yeah.
scap everything you can and make enough armor, and go head your ass back down south.
But the wildlings lived.
But
in
by then, the Unsullied will have starved inside
Yeah.
the walls.
Very nice.
Well,
I think fun, unfortunately.
as mentioned, the only thing we know about next episode is it's called The Spoils of War. And that Danny's pissed off she's losing.
I mean,
So,
Too.
yeah.
And Cersei now has a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I would say that's our show.
Yeah, I got none.
Come on, Unsullied, skip the little last college try.
Chrissy, where can they find you?
You can find me at Cleomoto on the internet.
On the internet. John, where can they find you?
You can find me at No More on the internet, more specifically on Twitter.
Pat and Michelle, where can they find you?
You can find us at the little thing in the corner.
Michelle seldomly there
Yeah.
on Twitter.
And then in time and space.
We have to get them actual reverb one time.
I think I could do that with this, actually. I don't know. I gotta play with. I gotta play with it.
Figure it out.
That'd be neat.
It'll be fun.
You guys deserve it.
You can find. Yeah, that'd be fun. You can find me on the internet and mostly Twitter at this place here. You can find all of us on Facebook, Twitter, Gmail, Google+, MySpace, and YouTube at ASOTV Podcast. You could find I already said that. You could follow us at those places for some more podcasts for some of your favorite TV shows, movies, and games. Thank you all for watching, and farewell.
Auf Wiedersehen.
Marco
Yes,
Minko
Marco.
in chat is saying
I
this,
agree.
this is proof Tyrion is more of a politician. I mean,
Yeah.
the whole taking of Casterly Rock would have been a great victory if, Jaime and Cersei hadn't abandoned it and thought of that first.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
what do you think Jorah's gonna be, guys? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I actually don't think they're
Jorah's
gonna
he's gonna show up all scarred and look at me.
He's gonna walk in and be like, "What the actual fuck have you guys been doing?
Mhm.
What happened? This was going fine, and then I left, and now it's not."
Danny's gonna be like, "Oh my god, you're alive." He's like, "Yeah, you ordered me to get better. Like, what did you expect?"
Follow your orders, ma'am.
Ah.